Right, I mean, 5 out of 7 now.
Can I, before we get into it, JD, can I just say a couple things? That college basketball game was an unbelievable game. But before we even get to that, having Coach Valvano honored here, I've followed him. His speech is one of my all-time favorite speeches. It's up there in the list. Where he talks about thinking and laughing and crying in one day. He's an inspiration to so many, and for them to raise over $350 million since the Jimmy V for cancer research is absolutely incredible. So to kind of have that here is really special, and to have him a part of the conference. And then Coach Welsh, I saw recently on the ballot for Naismith Hall of Fame. And, I've had a personal relationship with him. I actually took a class of his when I was at Duke, a coaching class, ironically enough. And what I was able to learn from him was amazing. I still, if at my house, I have a binder from his class, coaching notes, how to start a program, how to run practices, the different things you can learn from other people. And so I just want to congratulate the Valvano family. It's so well deserved. And then also Coach Welsh with his history here and being a New York coach. So, and last, I'm just really proud of my group. Unbelievable fight resiliency, and we're very fortunate we made one more play today.
Braxton, I'll start with you. They tie it, and then Luke comes back, gives you guys the lead. With 12 seconds to go, they get the inbounds. What was the play after they made a shot, no matter the time you had left? What was the idea going in for the game winner?
Just to break the press and go. So that's what it was, bro. And Luke trusted me, my teammates trusted me, and I made the shot.
Greg, you guys are on a bit of a roll now, winning 5 out of 7. What's clicked in the last couple of weeks with this group that may not have been there at first beginning of the year?
I think for us, we're just growing as a team. We're learning each other. We're learning situations, learning how to play in these moments. Sometimes we've handled them better than others, but we've tried to use each experience throughout the non-conference and start a conference as just a way to continue to learn. My big thing for us is let's just keep getting better and let's keep growing and working, and then we can see who we can become. And credit to our guys, they've worked extremely hard, and we've been able to take a step forward, and now we want to continue to do that moving forward.
This guy on your right has really picked up offensively this season. How much did learning last year behind Noah and now being a veteran help with this new group coming in? And Braxton, can you follow up on that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think one thing that really helps set the tone for our team is, Braxton started a lot of games last year, and Braxton comes off the bench for our team. And for him to be able to embrace the role, he's playing at a really high level. And so for him to be able to give of himself for the team is something that type of sacrifice, I think it speaks a lot about him. And for him to not only embrace that, but excel in that. And so for him, I think that's very important to understand. A credit to him and his teammates. But I think he's playing a really high level. I think he learned a lot last year, and he put the work in, and he continues to put the work in, and that's got to be the foundation for him as he continues to move forward.
I would say, yeah, I learned a lot from Noah last year. Yeah, so he kept me poised in a lot of situations, games like these, and yeah, that helped.
So get 2 wins this weekend down in Manhattan in a year after starting out 0-2 at the beginning of the conference season. How huge is that just from a momentum standpoint?
Well, for us, it's about the way we play. We want to continue to create an identity for our program, and whether the outcome is what we want it to be or it's not, it's about trying to develop that identity. And we grew a little bit in that area. We're still a ways to go, but for us, just to continue to and not focus in on the results, but more the process of it, and that process of individual development and how that comes into the team development and how we can continue to improve each time out. And that's where our focus is going to be, is just how can we keep learning, and then how can we keep applying what we just experienced. And this is a weekend where we'll have some stuff in, and now we want to continue to build off of that. The more we can build our relationships with these guys and them with each other.
How did you approach that lineup change in the second half, part of that 17-0
run? For us, we went small at some point in the first half, towards the back half of it. It might have been the last 6 or 7 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. And just the way that the game went, those guys finished at Yao and Harlan. We kind of mixed and matched them in at different points, but I think the bench gave us such great minutes and production and fight and resiliency, more important than that, that we wanted to roll with that. And over the course of our journey as a team so far, we've had a lot of different lineups in at different points, whether it's small, bigger, guy maybe that didn't start the game but finishes the game like Brax did. So for us, we're still trying to work through those things, but I think that going small at that time was the right thing for us.
Getting back to individual development, you've got great strides from Harlan this season. How much more has he improved, and how much has that benefited this team as a whole?
Yeah, he has improved. That's he's working. He like Braxton, he got a lot of experience last year, and so for him, we only have 3 returning players from last year, scholarship players, and so those guys have taken a step forward. They understand this conference, our system, our standards, and for him to take a step forward, it gives us a different mentality, but also gives us, obviously he's a 5-man, so it gives us a different presence on the interior that no one else on our team can bring.
Coach, just ask you about Greg Gordon for Iona and Iden Trey too. They seem to be trying to drive the basket, take shots from inside, and obviously Gordon got the last shot that made it 73-72. What's the thought on defense against them?
We try to just make them make a difficult shot, and they made some really tough finishes around the rim. Both terrific players. The level of efficiency with Gordon going 12 for 17, all right, and then them together going 22 for 32. I mean, that's unbelievable. Both getting over 20 points. They're really, really difficult to guard because they score in different ways. Offensive rebounds, drives, mid-ranges, transition. They got a lot off of transition, which 20 turnovers is a lot, but that's when Iona is at their best, and they're really, really explosive with their runs.
Right, Brax talked about breaking press on that game-winning 3. What was the mindset there, regardless of whether or not Iona had a shot that would have put them in front?
Yeah, we talked about trying to get one stop. That was the mentality, was let's get one stop. We used our last timeout after the 3-pointer by Luke. So we talked about, hey, it wasn't our possession arrow. We don't have a timeout. We actually didn't even talk about offense because we were just trying to get them to believe in the defensive stop. But we've worked on those situations where you don't have a timeout. We got to push the basketball, and Luke he trusted Brax, and Brax knocked down the shot and had an unbelievable follow through with it.
Given the color of your top, it seems like you guys had a good celebration downstairs. Is it more than just the dramatic finish of the end, or was there something more cathartic about this win?
It's hard to win in general, let alone in conference play, and then you add in on the road against a championship level program, and they're a really good basketball team, and so for us, we were so connected throughout the course of the 40 minutes and together that I was really proud of them, and there was a lot of enthusiasm and sharing it with one another is what I'm most proud of. That's who we want to become, and hopefully we can continue to do that.
Braxton, just into your last shot, I guess it was about 35 feet or so. Is that something you practice maybe in the summertime, thinking one day down the road it could happen?
I mean, I don't really practice it. It's just something I mess around and do.
Sure.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Iona had just taken a 10-point lead temporarily before you guys went on the 17-0 run. What did you guys see on the court, or what do you feel was going well to help you guys turn the tide during that big run?
Just taking care of the ball and valuing the basketball. Just not turning it over and getting good shots every time.
We were able to get a couple stops, fortunately, and get some shots in transition, some opportunities. And, I thought that there were some terrific contributions from everybody, but especially the bench. And Brack's one of those guys, but I thought that was a big difference. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Braxton.
Appreciate it.